You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Archer. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Archer news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Archer.
What up? What up? Yo, folks. Thanks for listening. Unfortunately, you can't see our handsome faces tonight. But this is John Barrett. I am here in the Studio B on Burbank.
That's right.
With my lovely co-host,
Phil the Thrill Svitek.
Is that your name now?
It's my Jersey Shore nickname.
Copy that.
You know, and I feel like we got some nudity in this episode, and we got some drinking done by Cyril, so it's kind of in the vein of Jersey Shore, so I figured I'd bust out the nickname.
Sure, why not? It's Jersey Shore. So let's start from the very beginning.
Well, let's just also say we are missing two of our regular co-hosts.
Are missing Jack was because he's busy pooping somewhere, I imagine.
That in a bucket, perhaps.
Probably in a bucket.
And he's got too many people staring at him.
Yeah, and he can't make. Additionally, we are missing Mr. Greg Goodness, who was busy saving a burning busload of children from falling off a cliff.
Yes. Very good reason not to make AFTERBUZZ.
Or he was at work or something.
But anyway, very exciting. Kind of a season finale for Archer.
Yeah, like this little preseason.
Yeah, that's a good word, preseason.
Yeah. So we start with basically where we left off, which is everyone got to Lana got to the island to rescue Archer. And now Malory is waiting for their call.
And
by Malory, I mean Cheryl.
And I love. Honestly, I think Cheryl's always great in all the episodes, but I feel tonight was a very strong episode for her.
Yeah, this was a very good Cheryl Carroll episode, especially with her pajamas and her response to the question, "Where is your pride?"
In my work.
In my work. To which Malory responds, "That's the funniest thing you've ever said." Which I think is great because it's not really that funny, and it's just sadly ironic.
It is. But it's funny because she would think of it, and it's a correct answer to say. But again, the irony is just too... And for those of you listening who are not necessarily from the East Coast, I feel like East Coast people have a bigger sense of irony. So that's why John and I really got it.
Yeah, we really dig irony. Us East Coast folk.
So,
from the right coast.
But, you know what was interesting for me was the fact that, the 3 episodes did kind of stay on Pirate Island.
Yeah.
As much as they did.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that Greg and I at least predicted from the get-go. I don't know if you had that sort of same feeling.
I was not privy to your discussion of the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But coming into it, it seems far more continuous than they tend to be on this show.
Yeah, well, we knew it was kind of going to be their trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, especially it was very clear from the first episode. But again, Greg and I had predicted overall, and me specifically, I had said it was going to be kind of the Odyssey, and it was going to be a greater journey. And the Odyssey obviously has many locations. This one just stayed on Pirate Island, but it was I liked it the way it kind of perspired.
I agree. I thought it was a very nice little arch that they went through here.
What the hell is Drake talking about on my TV?
He's talking about the new NBA 2K12.
Ah.
So, for those of you who don't know, we are watching the show in the background as a reference point, and right now it's on a commercial. So, Michael Jordan, NBA 2K12. There you go.
Boom.
Quick plug.
So another great line came up when Cyril and Pam were trying to figure out what had happened between the two of them the night before. What with the drinking and the nudity
Fornicating.
and the
Swiss bank
Swiss
accounting.
bank accounts. And I love Cyril waking up and trying to figure out what happened, and halfway into the word embezzle, trying to turn it into embarrass. To which Pam responds, "Don't talk like black people."
Yeah. Well, oh my God. Their interactions throughout the whole thing was just absolutely hysterical.
Spot on.
And they literally went there. I mean, first off, the scene itself, when we first come into it, again, we saw Pam last time, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just not a good image,
No.
Especially, like, yeah, it's kind of late in the night,
Mhm.
and I don't know about you, but after this, I'm going to kind of do some things and then go to bed. Not necessarily an image I want to go to bed with.
Nope.
But nonetheless.
But there it is.
And John, is there a stereotype that black people talk like that? Like, what is the stereotype exactly? That
I
they go-
believe it's a reference to Snoop Dogg's slang that involved a lot of isles.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "I embizzle heiressed myself."
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I think that's what she's referencing,
Right on.
which takes us a little bit out of the time period they were trying to establish.
I guess again, they always
They
play
don't
with
really
that
care,
time and
yeah.
space continuum.
Yeah.
I just like to consider it an alternate universe. What if the '60s and the today met,
And the 80s.
and the '80s,
And the 70s.
and I guess the '90s might as well throw that in.
Yeah. One of my other favorite things is Archer catching himself saying this place is lousy with him, referring to crabs, otherwise known as body lice.
Yeah.
For
And
those of you who do not know, the singular of lice means more than one, louse.
I did not know that.
Yes, and lousy means ridden with lice.
Interesting.
Yes.
I
The more
wish
you know.
That's right. You know what? I'm gonna get the soundboard up while you continue talking about the dungeon and all that is happening on in there.
Mm.
That was again. They went there with David Cross's character just pooping,
Well, not pooping. As we
not pooping.
later find out. Yeah, this was very much a oh my god, they just showed that episode.
It
or
was.
oh my god, they just said that. Excuse me.
And it was, and especially first off, the most ridiculous moment for me in the dungeon was when Rip Riley gets stabbed in the eye, in the same exact eye as
Ray.
Ray, that's it. Too many R's in there, but
Yeah.
I was absolutely shocked.
Wow, that was a very shocked sound effect that the board just made.
Well, I could give you an.
I also I'm sorry, backtracking a little.
Mhm.
Dungeon Us Crab is a really good is a really funny joke they made.
It is. It absolutely is.
Rock
Again-
beats spoon.
I love how they're absolutely shitting on this guy's profession. Like,
Constantly.
uh,
It's just a shit bonanza.
like, and just again, I can't wait till this comes out on a DVD or whatever.
Mhm.
In the 3-disc set, so you can kind of just go, episode 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
Because they rip him to shreds. Poor guy. And so
Yeah.
true. I mean, such a witty comment to make. Rock beats scissors. You fool.
Rock beats spoon. You should know this. You're an archaeologist. Anthropologist.
Yeah.
And poor guy with his bucket stench that completely knocked out.
Is that what happened? Like
I don't know. Did they
that was-
show it, or was I just being an idiot?
They didn't. From my memory, they didn't show it.
Yeah.
And I was watching pretty closely, and it was kind of one of those moments of like, I'm sure this wasn't that, but it's just like, you know how sometimes they cut out stuff for time, and I don't think that was this case, but it felt like one of those scenarios of like, wait, there's something that they didn't show us. And They just want us to interpolate the information in between.
Right.
But nonetheless, it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm not arguing or complaining.
I love that Malory doesn't know how to work the phone, like, at all.
And it's just such an instance of Cheryl actually doing her job correctly and just still getting shit on for it.
Yep.
So it was.
I mean, she's taking some pride in her work, you know?
She is, and then I love the little jab that she had. Hi, this is Malory Archer, and then you cut to the Malory
Hi,
saying
this is Malory Archer.
saying the same thing. So
I love. She says. She screams, "Listen to me, Buster!" And Bucky corrects her by saying Bucky, because he thinks she's calling him Buster because she thinks that's his name. But the thing I love most about that is that her son was named Buster on Arrested Development. Thank you, audience.
That's very astute of you. And well, I was gonna say David Cross. I thought David Cross was Buster, but no, he was not.
No, Tony Hale was Buster.
Yes, and he should be involved somehow. You know what? I think in the coming season, I know we're not in predictions yet, but Buster, that kind of character, should be Archer's brother, just newly discovered.
Interesting thought, which I like a lot.
By the way, obviously kind of the reoccurring theme was that Archer always needs Malory to save him. And I just love the scenarios of him, because most of the time we always get the flashback of him as a kid, and this time it was great to see him as a kid, then going through high school, then military training camp, and the punchline of he's gay.
I also love that Malory threatens to burn down every building he's in during that little
before
thing.
it inexplicably burns down. Quite funny.
She's great.
She is, and you know, obviously, for me at least, there was some stuff left to kind of wonder. What was she say? What was her kind of problem with these, the people? I mean, you had a psychologist who pretty much kind of looked like Freud to a degree. Then you had the school teacher, and then the biggest you can kind of see with the commanding officer in the army. But like, what do you think was her problem? Or
they were making it hard for her son, I guess. You know, and she don't like that. Malory Archer don't like no.
I guess the reason why I bring it up, and you know, I do understand it, but it was almost just so funny and ironic that the first one that they went to was him trying to put a square block in a circle, and that's the hard thing that she's mad at the psychologist about.
Yeah.
And I guess it just more speaks to the fact of Archer just being complete incompetent.
He's he's a dum-dum.
And yet knowing who discovered, what was it, discovered blood cells, or what was it?
Discovered blood groups.
Discovered blood groups, that's it.
Yeah, that was a good one. Archer shouted phrasing again at Riley, and I'm trying to remember why.
I totally forget.
He said something, and it wasn't really that suggestive. But it was kind of suggestive. Well, I'll watch it again and get back to you, audience.
That's right. Not for a while, but hey, we'll be back definitely.
For true. Oh, also, I love that what Cyril's afraid that Malory's going to do is dissolve him in a tub of acid.
Yeah, that was definitely funny.
That's definitely one of the worst ways to go.
It is. It definitely is. Do you want to talk about the heartfelt part of the whole episode between Lana and Archer? And then obviously later on just goes to shit. When
Yeah. Well, as it should. But yeah, that's great. It's a great moment they have.
I mean, the fact that she said, or he finally reveals to her, "Hey, you may be my only friend." That was
Yeah, that was touching.
it was.
But she probably isn't even his friend.
No, that's the irony. She
Archer
is
is a desperately lonely man, and
He
everyone
is.
hates him.
not. And all the guy wanted to do was play lacrosse.
Yeah. Also, I love the name of his team, Archers of Loaf Cross. For those of you who are not in the know, Archer is the name of this character, Sterling Archer.
Sterling Archer. Yeah.
This is a lacrosse team, which sort of explains that last part. But to really get the full effect of this, I think you need to understand that there is a band from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, from the 90s called Archers of Loaf
Mhm.
that were, a big indie rock band way back when. So, the more you know. That's a reference to a really good band. All y'all should check them out. Yeah, go check out Archers of Loaf. Also, I just want to bring up, if Archer makes an Archers of Loaf reference, Greg shitting on me for thinking they made a Pansy Division reference last season, totally blown to shit. Screw you, Greg Goodness. Come at me, bro.
There you go. You heard it first. And then obviously that moment just goes to all hell when they're in the helicopter and they're told to screw already, kill themselves, and then shut up.
Yeah, well, it's David Cross's character, who I already forgot, says, "Just screw already," to which Bucky agrees, and then Riley says, "And kill each other," and then shut up, and then kill each other again,
I mean,
and then call me so I can watch. Watch you do it, I believe.
yeah, to a degree. Here's what I'm going to compare it to, and you probably will slap me, and you probably will be justified. But I liken Archer and Lana to Sammy and Ronnie, but much more enjoyable and less vicious.
I'm not gonna smack you, but I am disappointed, Phil.
I'm just saying. Obviously, the show is about their love,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's true.
and it's constant through line. But it's not as annoying as Sammy and Ronnie from the Jersey Shore.
Nothing is as annoying as Sammy and Ronnie from the Jersey Shore.
But nonetheless,
Mm.
there you go. The
Oh.
more you know.
Another thing, we get the guest thing comes back. The password being guest comes back in this,
Mhm.
which is, the automatic default password. And I love that that when when Pam suggests guest and it is correct, she is told to eat a dick by Cyril. Because she loves eating dicks.
No,
apparently.
bags of dicks.
Well, she ate a bag of dicks
Mhm.
for the
The trivia night.
But Cyril only told her to eat one dick, singular, not a whole bag.
No,
It's
no.
a little bit much for getting something right,
Mhm.
you know? Just
she's
that
all-
one dick.
She's all for it.
She's all about eating that one dick. And that bag of dicks, actually. Seems like good people to be around if you want to see someone eat a dick. Because
Yes.
she'll eat a whole bag.
Well, speaking of dicks, Archer is just a complete dick who has ruined Ray.
Yes, he has.
I mean, did you know? In the last scene, we obviously knew about his eye, but did you see until that moment he goes out in his wheelchair? Did you know that he was in a wheelchair? Because I certainly did.
No, but it makes sense because he got shot in the belly.
Yeah.
Or, which is a pretty serious wound to recover from,
Yes.
you know?
Perhaps could have been helped if Archer didn't want to go see lacrosse.
Yeah, that damn lacrosse. Basically, what we're getting at is the entirety of Archer as a concept, as a series, as an idea, as a storyline, could have been stopped if we just hadn't stolen lacrosse from the Indians,
That could be it.
you know?
And
I also love his little interjection that lacrosse is Algonquin for blood sport.
That I have no idea whether or not that's true.
I don't
but
think it is. I think it just means something. It has something to do with like the netted stick.
Right on.
Like I think that's what it comes down to. I'm gonna look it up
Yeah, all right.
on my phone right now.
Well, do you want to make a quick comment? Then we can go to commercial, and we'll come back with the answer.
Y'all can eat a bag of dicks.
Right on.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out. That wig.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
What up, John Barrett?
Much. Currently looking up the etymology of
You are on a mission impossible, my friend.
La Crosse means the stick in French.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so there it is.
It means the stick in French.
Not blood sport in Algonquin.
You heard it first. So, with that, I'll have to give you a... Anyway, John, do we have some news and gossip? Usually, I know Greg's kind of the one that prepared.
Usually that's Greg's department, and I fell through on this because I have been working 14-hour days.
And what is this movie that you've been working on? Why don't you give a quick plug? Can you give a quick plug?
I think I can give a quick plug. It's called April Apocalypse. I think people have been talking about. We have some of our stars have been talking about it on red carpet events.
You want to fix your mic real quick?
Am I screwing with it?
Just move it closer.
Right here?
Yeah.
Is that doing it for you?
Just a little bit further.
Am I eating it?
That's good.
Is that good?
That's good.
Cool. It's called April Apocalypse. We're in production now, and it's a little nice romantic movie set in the backdrop of the zombie apocalypse.
Right on. You know what? I feel like the Archer crowd's,
I think so. I think it'll be a fun little. It's a great script, and it's looking really good. And we're still shooting it, so principal photography,
as the insider people call it, which is the shooting days.
That's correct.
For the primary shooting.
Yes, principal photography will wrap this Sunday.
No, okay, that's coming up.
Yeah, and then we'll let you know. The other thing I do have to plug, another feature that I worked on will be premiering Saturday, October 29th on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
Another zombie movie called Zombie Apocalypse.
Right on.
So check that out and look for my name in the credits.
John Dugan Barrett.
That I think I'll probably be credited as John Barrett because that's what I signed my deal memo saying.
Fair enough.
But
well, with that, why don't we get into some predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'm hoping Phil's prediction was correct, and that we see a little bit more Arrested Development cameos.
That would be very fun.
That is rocking it for me right now.
Do you think David Cross is going to continue on?
I have my doubts because he's on Modern Family now.
Yeah, I have doubts too, but I think it was kind of a 3-episode deal.
Yeah, and I'd love it if he was, for sure. But yeah, I know he's definitely on Modern Family.
You know who I would love? Just because I A, know him, but B, even when I saw Arrested Development, he was quite funny, is Henry Winkler.
Oh,
and that kind of shady character of like, ooh, that doesn't sound good.
He plays some really, really great character, weird, great characters too, because he's great he was great as Barry Zuckercorn on Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's the Fonz.
He is.
Duh.
And
also, I don't know if anyone here. I imagine if you're a viewer of Archer, you probably are a viewer of Children's Hospital on Adult Swim. But he plays the guy who owns the hospital. I'm not 100% certain on what his role is in the hospital. He's a manager, and they all hate him because he's management, but he's like the nicest guy in the world. He's really good in it. He's got range, is what I'm getting at.
He does, and he's also in Scream, the first one, as the principal, and he's hysterical in that one as well.
He's also
little known fact, I bet.
He also has a PhD in Hebrew studies from Emerson, according to Wikipedia. The last time I checked his Wikipedia article,
and
which
you know
was like 4 years ago.
You know what's interesting too? Not to really get into too much Henry Winkler, but something that you guys should appreciate is he's dyslexic.
Really?
And so it's very hard. Like, he goes through a lot of extra effort in reading the scripts. If it's an animation thing, if it's like voiceover work, I mean, you know, he makes sure he preps so many hours ahead of time to make sure that he knows it. And, you know, he feels, you know, because he does feel the pressure and he doesn't want to give away the fact that, you know, he has trouble reading. And so that's why so much prep goes into it. So
fascinating.
Very, very great guy, and he would be an amazing addition.
I agree with that.
Where do you think the storyline as a whole is going?
I think they're going to probably, like, they've been addressing, and towards the end of Season 2, they started addressing these sort of interpersonal relationships in a more serious way.
Yeah.
I think they'll continue that. I think we'll probably start to move away from Archer and Lana and move into Archer and Mallory in a sort of less superficial way. Like, we're just sort of grazing the surface of their relationship, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, to steal from Greg, or hopefully in honor of Greg, he predicts that Barry will be back, and we'll kind of see a head-to-head between the two, you know.
I would buy that.
So.
I would love to see it too.
So I mean, that's all I got, to be honest with you. I mean,
I also want to see more of this bickering between Archer and Bray.
That is always a given.
Yeah.
And as always, I love Cyril, and I want to see more out of him.
Always more Cyril, always more Pam, always more Cheryl.
Cheryl's been great.
Yeah, they've been really doing some good stuff with Cheryl though on this. So.
Anyway.
But she's less of a mess up now. You know what I mean?
She is, absolutely. Yeah. And so so either way, unfortunately, we had a bit of a break in between.
Right, a bit of a 4-month break.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, something like it. We'll probably be January. I feel like it'll be back.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously be back here with you.
That's right, we will.
Damn right.
So on behalf of Phil Svitek,
Greg Goodness,
Jack Waz,
and
myself,
John Barrett,
and the sadly absent from my life, DJ Jesse Janity. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you back in January, same bat time, same bat channel.
But we are going to, real quick, we will be doing the league next week.
We will be doing the league next week.
Which is an FX show, you guys will absolutely love it. And Jeff and Jackie Schaefer, the creators, are on board to get us as many cast members as we can. And they're all supporting it. They're really great guys. Great show. So, we'll see you in a bit.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.